A match that's been tight all night, so very well expect this fifth set to be just the same. Welcome back to the Tyson Events Center. Lindsey Wilson and Indiana Wesleyan are going to play one set to 15 here, and the winner will go to 1-1 in Pool C. If you're just joining us on the broadcast, welcome aboard. 25-22, Lindsey won number one. Indiana Wesleyan in the second, 25-21. Indiana Wesleyan in the third, 25-19. And then Lindsey Wilson just won the last set, set four, 25-19. This one's got my voice a little bit hoarse, but it's well worth it. Great matchup. Teams are going to stay where they were at the end of that fourth set. That's Indiana Wesleyan in the near court, Lindsey in the far court. Of course, halfway through, they will swap courts. So this one goes fast. Here we go. Back to serve. Katie Holler for Indiana Wesleyan. 29-11 on the year. Lindsey Wilson, 36-4. And here's the serve. Serve taken out of the back row. Set down the line, out of bounds. And right to Nashiva on the opening attack. Out of bounds, no touch. And a point for Indiana Wesleyan. Well, obviously, they're going to try to get after it right away with Nashiva in the front row. Here's the set middle. That one's going to be Tigas. Right side attack, and it's down for a kill for Christian Tavo. Tavo with the kill. 2-0 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Here's the serve taken. Set on the outside. There's Nashiva. Dug up, played back over. And what's the call? Double contact on Indiana Wesleyan, and Lindsey Wilson is on the scoreboard at 2-1. 2-1 our score. Court number one's in a 5-set match. Spring Hill College and Vanguard are at 11-10 Vanguard in the fifth, tied at 2 apiece. Earlier tonight, Midland and Embry-Riddle went to 5, won by Midland. Here's the tip in the middle, Doug, handled by the Lindsey Wilson group, and off the tip and down for a point for the Blue Raiders, and it's a 2-2 tie. All three 3-15 matches today went 5. Mid-America 1 and 5, Columbia 1 and 5, and also in 5 it was Georgetown. So those were some tight matches earlier today. Here's a right side set for Brandis, block back, regrouping Indiana Wesleyan, and a free ball. To the spike line, played up to the net, back over to Indiana Wesleyan, outside, set, and pushing it off the block. Yes, that was Ray Brandis. She did push it off the block, and it's a point for Indiana Wesleyan, and it's 3-2. Well, Ray Brandis is very athletic at the pin when she wants to be, and that was her 18th kill of the night on 42 attacks. She's hitting .333. Serve handled by the Blue Raiders. They're going to go outside cross-court attack from Sarah Anderson, handled. Now a free ball from Indiana Wesleyan. Set, quick middle. That is Tigas. Now out of the back row attack for Brandis, handled. Here's a set through the double block and down for Laitaikova. And Laitaikova with the kill, and we're going to have another card. Card issued to Lindsey Wilson, and coming out of the match will be Tigas. Tigas checks out. They had to substitute. It will be the point for Lindsey Wilson, and 3-3 is our score. 3-3, service with the Blue Raiders and Kristen King. Serve taken, set, right side, tipping up and over the double block and down is Christina Tavo. Tavo for Indiana Wesleyan. 4-3 lead for the Wildcats. This is one of those matches, unfortunately, someone has to lose. This is just two teams that are just dead on, even up. Great match here tonight in Pool C. Serve middle, taken. Here's the set. Quick hitter out of the middle. That was from number 4, Moorhead. Returned back by Indiana Wesleyan. Back set, cross-court attack for Anderson. There's that pursuit rule, played back, and a free ball, or pushed over on the return. Outside set, blocked back. That was an attack from Lytakova. Back to her again. Little low, she had to just pop it up and over. There is Brandis. Left side line shot from Collicutt. Handled. Lytakova now back. It's handled by Indiana Wesleyan. In the middle, roll shot. And what's the call? Double hit on Indiana Wesleyan. Double hit on Indiana, 4-4. 4-4 the score. Here's the serve. Serve taken. Set. Trying to push it through. Tavo, handled by the Blue Raiders. On the outside off the block. Pushed back again by Lytakova. Handled out of the middle. Outside. Tavo, no touch. No touch. 4 hit call. Oh, the net play is getting tight here in the 5th and final set. 5-4 is the score in favor of Lindsey Wilson. We're knotted up at 2 apiece. 2-2 our score. Serve taken. Here's the set middle. Cross court right side. Egebrecht in the middle. Trying to tip it through. Handled. Bumped on the outside. Back row handled. Back set. Trying to push it through is number 4, Moorhead. Bumped on the outside. Lytakova. And pushing it down, Indiana Wesleyan. It's going to be Indiana Wesleyan breaking the plane of the net on the near side. Timeout, Candace Moats, and she wants to talk to the down official about that. That point gives Lindsey Wilson a 2-point lead at 6-4. Six to 4 in favor of Lindsey Wilson. So Indiana Wesleyan thought they had the point, but a net call made up front by our down official. Lindsey Wilson won the first one, 25-22. Indiana Wesleyan, 25-21. Indiana Wesleyan, 25-19. Lindsey Wilson, 25-19. I mean, those scores are just straight up all night. Back to the court come both teams. Here we go with our serve from Lindsey Wilson, taking middle back, set, left side, on the left side of the antenna and out of bounds for Collicutt. And that's a point for Lindsey Wilson, and they lead by 3, 7-4. Spring Hill is just 1-5 over Vanguard of California, 15-13 in the 5th. Serve long by Lindsey Wilson. And that's a point for Indiana Wesleyan, and it's 7-5. 7-5 the score in favor of the Blue Raiders. Service with Indiana Wesleyan, number 15, Rogan. And it's misplayed out of bounds by Lindsey Wilson, and that's a point for the Wildcats. 7-6. 7-6 is the score. Lindsey Rogan serving again. Middle, push back on a tip. Regrouping Lindsey Wilson. There's a slide to number 4, Moorhead. Handled on the outside, push back. Regrouping Indiana Wesleyan. Tip back row by Brandis. Handled by the Blue Raiders. They'll fire up at the net, try to tip it through. Nothing there. Left side line shot, and it is tipped, and that's going to go down for an Indiana Wesleyan point. And the score is tied at 7 apiece. 7-7 is our score. 7-7, set number 5. Here's the set on the outside. Laitakova pushed back over by Indiana Wesleyan. They'll go to Laitakova again. Double block there. Now the setter tries to push it over, and a back row attack. And that's going to put the score at Indiana Wesleyan 8, Lindsey Wilson 7, and we will switch our courts. The courts will switch. Lindsey Wilson comes now to the near court in their blue uniforms. Indiana Wesleyan will go to the far court. And the service is with Indiana Wesleyan University up 1. 2-2 match. And here's the serve. Pushed up to the net. Mistimed the jump, but enough there to push it through and down for Kaylee Moorhead. Kaylee Moorhead with her 13th kill of the night on 37 swings. Nashiba has 18 kills in the contest. 19 kills for Ray Brandis to lead the way for Indiana Wesleyan. Serve handled by the Wildcats here. Tie ball game, blocked up at the net, regrouping Indiana Wesleyan. Outside attack, double block back, regrouping are the Wildcats again. Try the outside again, pushing it through, number 11, Colacott. And it's going to be a point to the Blue Raiders. A point to the Blue Raiders. And Blue Raiders are up by 1, 9-8, and they'll have the serve. Egebrecht. On the outside, the big swing for Indiana Wesleyan and a kill. That's going to be for Colacott. Side out, Indiana Wesleyan. Here comes the serve in a 9-9 ball game. Set, left side, cross court, Doug up at the net, pushed over on a free by Egebrecht. Back out on the outside, off the double block. That is going to be Nashiba, and out of bounds, point to Lindsey Wilson. Lindsey Wilson will go with service. It's going to be number 7, McNabney, to the service line. Middle serve taken, set on the outside, off the double block. Kept alive once, but not twice. Nice swing out there by Ray Brandis. Knots us up at 10-10. 10-10 in the 5th. And now it's down to a race to 5 to win this match. Back to serve will be Kristen Egebrecht for Indiana Wesleyan. Serve taken. The libero will put it up in the air on the outside, cross court, out of bounds. Out of bounds, cross court attack, point to Indiana Wesleyan. They'll retain service, up by 1, but a timeout taken by head coach Andy Cavens and the Blue Raider bench. 11-10, Indiana Wesleyan. If you're watching along here, the Blue Raiders are in the near court from Lindsey Wilson, Indiana Wesleyan in the far court. As we go past the 10 o'clock hour now in Sioux City. And the 2-hour point of this match. Back out on the floor is Lindsey Wilson. 5 setters, kind of the name of the game here today in Sioux City. We've had, what, 6 of them? I believe there's been 6 5-set matches. Lindsey Wilson's back on the floor. Indiana Wesleyan breaks huddle. Like I said a little bit ago, it's too bad one of these teams has got to go to 0-2 in the pool. They are both evenly matched. They just got weapons that counter each other and fun to watch. Here's Indiana Wesleyan serving up by 1. Serve taken, set to the left, swing and in on a kill for Adi Nashiba. And what a night Nashiba has had. I believe that puts her to 20 kills. Hitting at a 245 clip, very efficient. And a tie ball game again. And service will go with Alexa Just, the setter. Serve handled, Holler will set the outside, tip, handled, set, left side. That's going to be Nashiba. That one's dug out of the back row by Indiana Wesleyan. Off the spike line, the dotted outside hash line, it's in play. Blue Raiders down the left line, Nashiba, dug. Indiana Wesleyan free ball. Push to the front, right side. Lindsey Wilson tries a line shot, dug by Indiana Wesleyan. Cross court Indiana Wesleyan, and it caught the Lindsey Wilson player up on her arm. She was there, just caught her up, and that's a point for Indiana Wesleyan to go up 12-11. The placement of the attacks tonight has been something to watch for both teams. Katie Holler, the setter for Indiana Wesleyan, will serve. Here's Just, right side set to Nashiba, dug by the Wildcats. Back set, down the line, dug. And we have what? Got to see the call here. A net violation on Lindsey Wilson. Timeout for Lindsey Wilson. Somebody got their arm up in the net up front on that play. Indiana Wesleyan now leads it by 2, 13-11 on the timeout on the floor. And again, we want to remind you that you are watching New Lions broadcast of the NAIA National Volleyball Championship in Sioux City, Iowa. New Lion also providing coverage of the NAIA women's and men's soccer tournaments in probably what is a much warmer climate than Sioux City, Iowa right now. Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama. Just out of curiosity, what is the temp right now? 14 degrees. And tomorrow, 12 with a -2. Yeah, it definitely changed here. We've had some snow. There's about 6 to 8 inches not too far north of here. Back to action. 13-11 is the score. Lindsey Wilson with the swing on the right side. That's dug by Indiana Wesleyan. Outside, tipping up at the net. That's going to be Tavo. The Blue Raiders will set the outside and trying to cut the line. And out of bounds was Adi Nashiba. And that will bring up set match point for Indiana Wesleyan University at 14-11. 14-11, set match point for Indiana Wesleyan. Serve taken, up to the net, just, set, quick middle, and a big kill for Maddie Tigas to keep the Blue Raiders alive. Side out, back to the Blue Raiders at 14-12. Service will go with Adi Nashiba. Adi Nashiba will bounce the ball a couple of times here, put it up in the air, service. Wildcats set, back row attack. That's Brandis, dug, joust at the net, and tipped into the back corner and down, and a point for Lindsey Wilson. They will not go away. 14-13 now in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Set match point number 3 upcoming. Timeout, Candace Moats and Indiana Wesleyan University. You just kind of knew this one was probably going to come down to a 2-point match. Ever since the beginning, I think 5 points has been the biggest lead by anybody all night long. Set number 1 was a 25-22 win by Lindsey Wilson. There was a 5-point Blue Raider lead, and they're at 21-16 at one point. But then Indiana Wesleyan came back to pull within 2 before the match was won, 25-22. Same thing happened in the second set, just the opposite. There was a 5-point lead in there by Indiana Wesleyan. And then Indiana Wesleyan did end up winning the match by 4. Here we go, back out on the service line. Set match point upcoming. It is 14-13 in favor of Indiana Wesleyan. Service with Natalina Nashiba. And here's the serve. Taken, Indiana Wesleyan, set, middle. That was an attack from Buckner on the outside. Lajtajkova tries to put it through, handled. Here's an outside attack from number 2, Tavo. Joust at the net, pushed down by Indiana Wesleyan, and it's going to be Remy Buckner with the winner for Indiana Wesleyan, and the Wildcats win a thriller, 15-13 in set number 5, and it will be Indiana Wesleyan up